How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the James Loud Podcast. And today our special guest is Vandezey21 from Instagram. He's an overnight sensation. I started following him at 600,000 followers, and you're at something like 1.7 million.
1.7, yep.
It's so wild. Thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome, man. How's it going?
It's going really well, man. It's, you know, I was talking to Mikey about it, and he's like, yeah, that's my boy. And I'm like, holy shit, this guy, you do something that's so different and so wild. And I feel like I have 105,000 followers on Instagram because I did something different. I was shaking male plants and the pollen was flying, and that got me elevated.
Yeah.
But then I see this guy lane splitting and he's like singing along to all these different songs. And it's like, you know, my experience with riding bikes is I've laid a couple bikes down, and I would never in my mind, in my right mind, go through traffic like that at those speeds and then be able to record it and dial it all in. And I'm like, there must be something going on here. You know, green screen, what is he doing? And it's like, it almost doesn't make sense to your eyes when you're watching it. If you really start understanding and looking at how fast you're going through these, you know, these videos, it's like, and what kind of speeds are you doing through?
It's definitely not slow.
Yeah. You're not looking at this speedometer either.
It's definitely not slow. Let Mikey tell you. He showed me everything I know, so you know how that is. But no, man, it's crazy to me that everybody thinks it's so crazy. Like, I never thought. I swear to God, today was the first day I was at work and I was watching one of my videos. I was like, you know, this is pretty wild. Like,
it's wild.
But to me, it's something I do. I've been riding motorcycles since I was 2 years old. So like everything I do is just to the fullest. Like, I was a wakeboarder. I try to do it to the fullest. Snowboard, do it to the fullest. Like, when I go down the mountain, I just want to go fast. I'm like Ricky Bobby, man. If you're not first, you're last. You know what I mean? So it's crazy to me, but like, it's crazy that, you know, that everybody thinks it's crazy, but
well, and creatively unique, right? So like, it's not just crazy, but it's creatively unique to where I've never seen anybody else do it like that. So
how it all happened is I've been riding like that for like ever since I got my bike. So since I got my first Harley, I've been riding fast, splitting lanes and dancing. Like, I dance in the car, I dance everywhere. Like, I'm just kind of a person that I'm always trying to have a good time. I love music. It's my favorite thing in the world. And like, one day I was on the way home from work and I passed one of my friends from work, and he's like, bro, like, you need to record that. Like, you're insane. I've seen you fly past me doing like 80 splitting lanes and you're dancing. I was like, so what? Like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, like, seriously, I've never seen anybody split lanes with one hand, let alone no hands. You know, he's like,
it's crazy.
He's like, dude, like, you got to record it. So he's the one who like talked me into like just doing it. And I did it for fun. And I was like, this is kind of lame, but whatever. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm not really in it for the clout or anything like that. I'm just, it's just me. I just
it's
ride.
Just authentic, right? And it comes across that way too.
Yeah, I could personally, I hate to say this, I could care less if people like it or not. Yeah. You like it or you don't. I'm not going to do something different because you hate it. Good for you. Don't watch it then. What do you want me to tell you? You know?
And that's the authentic side that just comes across. And it's like, I don't think you could do it any other way.
Yeah.
I mean, for one thing, it's freaking dangerous.
It's very dangerous. You know what's crazy though? Like, I never felt any type of danger. I don't feel unsafe. Like, I've never personally thought it was dangerous. And then I'm telling you, today was the first time I've actually watched a video and be like, all right, that's a little wild. But to me, when I'm riding, I just don't think about anything. Like,
you're so tuned in,
I'm
right?
just listening to music, and people are like, you need to pay attention, watch the road. I'm like, I'm watching the road. Why do you think I'm going like this back and forth? Because I'm just listening to the music, and I'm just so focused that like, I don't have those thoughts. You know,
when you're tuned in like that, there is no fear, right? Because you're tuned in and you know what's going on. And I think your awareness is heightened. You know, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
And so it's impressive seeing other people do it.
I'm telling you, I've been thrill chasing my whole life. So it's kind of just another thing for me. It's just like, you ever go like really fast in a car and you just get tunnel vision? Right. Well, I feel like it's like a version of tunnel vision, because like I can see everything still, but I just don't care that it's there unless it's going to affect me. You know, it's like, I just ride to where I can predict your guys' next move. That's really my whole goal, is just.
Yeah, I remember early 2000s. The fastest I ever went in the earliest 2000s was like 180 in a Supra. And we were down in San Jose at night, and it was dark. Going on the freeway. And that was fast. Oh, yeah. That was fast. And it's like, you do get tunnel vision from that.
Yeah. The fastest I've got splitting lanes, nobody believes me, I got up to 110 splitting lanes. Yeah. And like everybody on a sport bike, like, it's not fast. I do 150 splitting lanes. It's like, yeah, you'll do it when the cars are going on the freeway and you'll go in and out of them, but they're basically stopped. And you never know when somebody's just got to get over at that last second. And if they do, it's lights out.
That's it.
Yeah, it's kind of, but it's kind of what I look at it. It's kind of what you sign up for when you get on a motorcycle. If you get on a motorcycle and you're riding this little machine with a big motor between your legs, people can't see you. They're not looking for you at all because they're barely paying attention. Either they're on their phone adjusting the radio, they're doing something. They're not paying, or they could have had a bad day and they don't even care. They're not even paying attention. So like,
well, there's so many people that don't pay attention.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So like, if you get on two wheels, you got to know what you're signing up for. It's like joining the military, man. If you join the military, you literally sign a piece of paper that says, I might not make it back home. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, it's something it comes with, you know. The way I look at it, though, I could have a heart attack right now and die, or get hit by a bus or something, you know.
Who knows?
People die from cancer every day, and that sucks.
Every day.
You know, so it's just however you're supposed to go out.
Car accidents and cancer happen every day.
Every day, you know. So it's kind of just like,
and if it's not on your bike, it could be in a car.
It could be an airplane, you know. I do underground construction for work, right? Nice. And when you get we dig those big holes out, and if you're down there like 8 feet, the walls will fall in and kill you, you know? So it's just like, you could die. I could die at work every day. So what's the difference, you know?
Right.
I hate to say things like that because people are like, oh, he doesn't care about his life. It's like, it's not that. I just love to enjoy my life while I still have one. Like, you know what I mean? I like to get out.
Life is short.
It's short, man. I'm going to live it how I want to. I could care less that it makes me laugh because people are like so scared for me and they don't even know me. It's like, you've never met me. I don't know why you're telling me you need to slow down. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. No, I think it's impressive. And then your Instagram following, how it skyrocketed. I mean, there was days where I was watching it grow 50,000 followers. Yeah. Like overnight.
Yeah. So I started out when all this started popping off, I had about 800 followers. And I swear I posted that video, that little left-right video.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you in a little bit. But I posted it, what was that, Thursday night. And then by Friday morning, I had like 36,000 views. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't get too hyped up on it because I have another video of me jumping off somebody's roof into a pool. Yeah. I did like a backflip off the roof and that hit like 35,000 and then just nothing, not a single thing after that. So I was like, oh, that's cool. By the time I got off of work, I think that video had like 2.3 million views and I already had another like almost 100,000 followers by the time I got off of work. I was like,
that's amazing.
What just happened?
Yeah.
Like,
and then you're doing double takes and then you're checking every couple hours or every couple minutes. Yeah,
then it was fun, right? Because my phone, when I set it on the table, it sounded like somebody's calling me consistently. I was like, what is going on here? So
I don't even have my alerts set with Instagram. I can't do it.
Off. Yeah. I had to turn all the alerts off. So it's crazy because like even my fiance, she'd be like, "Did you see what I sent you on Instagram?" I'm like, "Oh no, sorry." I tend not to check it anymore because
same thing with messages. There's so many people and you have a much bigger following than I do, but it's like I have so many messages I can't respond to everybody.
And there's just like because they separate it now into like 2 different folders. I'm sure you have that too, right? So like if I go through the request folder, it's just nonstop. And it's like every like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. It's just refresh.
Well, there's someone saying, hey, and then there's someone reaching out like they know you.
Yeah.
And you get a little mix of all of it.
So it's kind of like, it doesn't suck. Like, I hate to say that because I sound like kind of an asshole.
No, it doesn't suck. It doesn't suck. It's good,
suck, but it's like it's a second job that like, one, I didn't want. And two, now it's like, if I don't sit there, because I don't have anybody for this stuff, right? So I personally got to do it. So I'll go to work all day, come home, and I'll have to sit there and just scroll on my phone because what I've learned is if I don't check a lot of those messages, at least you miss like brand deals and stuff like that. There's like a lot of people like just famous people in general that reached out to me, like trying to do things that I seen and it was 4 months ago. I'm like, oh, well, sorry. It's like,
at what point did you know that it was going to be a big deal? Was it like after that weekend you were like, oh yeah, it's going to go to 1 million followers? No. Or were you just kind of skeptical at first?
I was very skeptical at first. I was like, this is cool, but I just, not that I had a lot of people telling me, it was just kind of like, don't get your hopes up type thing, right? Like it's like people's attention spans are so slow that it's going to be, oh, okay, that's cool. Okay, goodbye.
Fall off.
Yeah.
15 seconds of fame
15
and that's it.
seconds of fame, right? And it's like, I don't think I actually like got excited until the million follower thing was cool. I got excited for that. I had a little party for that, but
That tripped me out.
When I really got the most excited was probably about a month ago, is when I really actually felt like I made it somewhere, is when Jerry Rice added me on Instagram. I was like, oh, you know what, Dad? I might have made it.
Yeah. You got Jerry Rice.
I was like, Jerry Rice, man, come on. I'm a Raider fan. I still love Jerry Rice. I was
totally.
like, God, man. I was like, I told my dad, and that's like the happiest I've ever seen him. Yeah. I was like, I made it. That's when I was like, I'm doing something, you know? Yeah. So it's fun. Well,
and I think a lot of people don't understand what kind of doors it opens up when you start getting over 100,000 followers, right? And the potential. And then once you get to 1 million, you're in a whole nother category, right?
Yeah.
And then you're at 1.7 right now. And it's like, so the potential for sponsorship and endorsements and people that want to put their brand and associate it with you because of the potential for advertisement.
Oh, that's 100%. It's the advertisement game on Instagram. I've realized that it's good and bad, because there's a lot of people that kind of just want to use you, basically. There's a lot of people that actually do care about you and want to see you do good things.
Yeah.
And it's hard to kind of separate those people in a way, but I've found out a good way to do it, and I've kind of locked in with a couple people that I really started like getting good with, and it's been working for me. So that's good. I like it.
Yeah, Instagram is a trip. You know, it's like understanding these things and how the algorithm works. It's like it's not straightforward at all. You know, because like I've seen some of the most amazing videos of yours that don't get the views, right? And then some of the other ones that just go crazy. And sometimes it's the music, sometimes it's the timing.
I've learned a lot. It's the music. Yeah. It's whatever song is kind of like doing well. But then at the same time, I've like posted songs from like the 90s that were bangers back then that nobody listens to anymore. And then like that one will do well. I'm like, Because like I posted on what's today? Friday. I posted Wednesday. There's this song that's like, I forgot the name of the song, but it's like super popular.
Yeah.
It's got 8 million views right now. I posted the song on that Tuesday that's like kind of like a newer song, but it's not getting that much attention. It's got like 300,000 views. I'm like, how'd you go from 300,000 to 8 million? You know what I mean? I was like, the algorithm on Instagram is hard to work with.
It's wild. Yeah, it's wild. It's very unpredictable. And there's so many pieces and components to it. Do you tag the artist too? Like when you do?
I tag the artist mostly. Sometimes I'll collaborate with them, but I do like a lot of paid promotion videos too. So on those ones, I'd have to tag the artist.
Right.
Totally. Kind of have to, but I try to like. I don't like to be that guy also that's kind of like, oh, look at the song I made of, like, look at the video I made of your song type thing. Cause that's kind of what everybody's just trying to get famous, and they're trying to make money off of like, I got a really good job. I could care less about being famous, you know? Like, so it's like, I don't need the money. I don't really care about being famous. So I'm just doing what I love.
No, you got your own thing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You either like it or don't. So it's kind of like, if it's an artist I really like, I'd like to tag them. And if they repost it, that's when I'm like, oh, that's dope. But it's kind of like, I'm not out here reaching for their attention.
And you like all kinds of music.
Oh, I love everything.
A bunch of diversity.
Country, rap, rock and roll, jazz, you name it. If it's music, I love it. You know, I'll listen to anything. Everybody, like, I just can't stand people. Country music? How do you listen to that? I'm like, see, you obviously haven't listened to enough.
Yeah,
that's the
and
problem.
It's like, for me, it's like there's some country I don't like, but I like country. Like if you ask me if I like country music, I like country music.
Yeah,
I like folk music. I like pretty much every style.
Yeah.
Now there's certain artists that I'm like, oh, I don't like that.
Definitely.
Or I don't like this.
Definitely.
Some of the pop, I'm not a huge fan of some of the pop, but a lot of pop I do like.
Yeah. There's something out there for everybody in every genre. That's the way I look at it. There's just, especially in 2024 where everyone basically makes music these days, is kind of like, there will be something for you out there. You can't just judge it because you don't like that person. Oh, well, now I hate that whole genre. It's like, dude, come on,
that's crazy.
Man. Like I'll post I posted like a Mariah Carey, an R&B song. Everybody's like, oh, you're singing a girl song? I'm like, dog, if you don't like Mariah Carey, like, I don't know what
First
to
of
tell
all,
you.
you're not singing, you're lip syncing.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. It's like, it's a good song. What do you want me to tell you? You're mad at me because I like,
for sure.
It is what it is. People can hate all they want to. But
there's always going to be haters, and the bigger you get, there's more haters. It just grows exponentially, and you know, you're doing something right if you got haters.
Oh, and it's so funny because like everyone close to me, they're like, they'll go on my Instagram and they'll like see people like say the most just outlandish things. Like they just don't care, right? They don't know me. They're just gonna say it to say it makes them feel better or whatever. But my family gets so mad. I want to go on there and say this, and that. I'm like, why? I'm like, if they're hating, they're watching. That's all that matters. They took the time out of their day to watch a video and then go comment on it. So obviously I must be doing something right. Like if you're really taking that time out of your day, I have to be winning at this point, right? It's just like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. I just sit there and I just laugh. People I'm super petty too. So like I've learned I need to not argue with people on there because I've gotten banned twice already. So
yeah, it's just not worth arguing.
Worth it.
No.
It just makes me laugh because I know it like, one, it makes their day that somebody with this many followers is reaching back out to them.
Oh, totally.
And two, they really think they're getting under my skin. I was like, you've never met me. Nobody can get under my skin. It's funny.
And it's stuff they would never, ever say to your face,
Never say to my face,
Some dude who lives with mom in the basement, you know?
Doing
it's
the
like,
keyboard warrior thing, you know? It makes me laugh. But it's a fun time, though. So
yeah, for sure. Instagram's wild.
It's wild. It's a very, very, being a kid growing up just with social media, being like in Instagram thing, it's got to be like not a rough life, but definitely a very different one than how I grew up without social media.
Absolutely.
You know, it's like a different world for sure.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Yeah.
So I caught the cusp of getting to play outside with all my friends to watching the first like phone you could text on to now it's just iPhones and everything. Nobody goes out the house anymore. So
totally,
I caught that perfect little 90s window to 2000s. And it's
right with the like invention of the internet when it started becoming popular.
I remember the whole dial-up, all of that. So it's kind of, for me, it was fun. But now it's just like thinking back to not getting to witness, like just to even care. Like you don't care. Like when you were that young, not even like these young kids now, they care about social media. Like they all want to be an influencer. But when I was young, I just wanted to go outside and play baseball. Like, you know, it's like, you don't get that no more. So I'm just like, it's a weird, these kids have it different these days.
They do.
It's not worse. It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just a different thing. And it's.
You got the Jake Pauls.
Yes.
You know, these Jake Paul guys that are out there. And, you know, believe it or not, I mean, I respect what he's done to a degree. He's monetized it, right?
Definitely.
So no matter how much you hate on him or think he's an idiot or whatever, the dude monetized it and made millions and millions and millions of dollars boxing and setting up, whether you think it's fixed or it's real. I mean, I don't even care. But the fact is like he maneuvered in a way that he was able to monetize it, and I can respect that side of it.
He created his entire own lane, you know? So it's what you got to do these days if you want to make it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think like thinking outside the box and paving, going through and doing something a little bit differently, whether it's, you know, shaking a male plant, I'm in the cannabis space, to lane splitting, to, you know, rigging fights in boxing. And
but if like, it's especially with the Jake Paul thing, people want to see him get beat up so bad.
They want it so bad.
That's why they keep coming back.
They hate him and then they watch it. You know, it's
they
like,
gotta watch it.
And him and Tyson, it's really interesting because, you know, it's like him fighting Tyson. It's like, because Tyson's, that's my hero. That's that's the guy who I grew up with. You know, and it's like Tyson's such a beast and he's such a nice guy. I've met him a handful of times. And just really genuine. And when I think of the greatest fighters of all time, especially in my lifetime,
definitely,
I think Mike Tyson, he was the scariest.
He
was, you know, it's like,
I was like, man, like Jake Paul looks like a good fighter. He's a big dude. Like, even if the fights are rigged, I still wouldn't want to get hit in the face by Mike Tyson. Like,
you wouldn't want to get hit.
No, like that right hook there, man. I just,
No, and in the real world, it's like those punches from Mike Tyson. He's dangerous.
Yeah.
And his head movement, I mean, he's a different beast.
Yeah, they were showing him hit. I seen something on Instagram that he was hitting the bags the other day. I was like, ooh, that looks like it might hurt. No, thank you.
Mike Tyson, he'll eat mushrooms too. I saw.
I
just saw him eat a handful of mushrooms online. It's funny what you see on the internet. Yeah, he's just a beast, man.
Yeah, I like him a lot.
So yeah, and he has a cannabis brand. He's
I seen that.
And he's one of those guys who's able to make fun of himself. He's got the ears, you know, for his gummies and that's the bite marks.
Yeah, it's hilarious. You know what I mean? Like it's cool when people can do that though, right? It's like they don't take life so damn serious. It's just like relax a little bit.
Sometimes we all just need to take a step back and relax a little bit.
That's all it is, man. I tell people that every day.
Yeah.
You just gotta chill.
Yeah, so let's talk about weed for a little bit. You used to smoke.
I used to smoke weed. I used to smoke a lot of weed. And I got in trouble for smoking a lot of weed by my mom. But then, I had to quit and then I started again. But can't now because I have a Class A. So
and so that's got to change in California. They allow you to drink with a Class A, but you can't test positive for cannabis.
Which makes absolutely no sense in my book, right? Because I can get off of work right now and go pound 6 tall boys.
Yeah.
And then go to work tomorrow like nothing happened. But
totally
smoking weed to go to bed because I struggle at sleeping at nighttime is, oh my God.
Oh, that's a no-no. We're going to take away your license.
Yeah. Oh, I'll take away my license, get fired, all kinds of stuff. So it's like, it's just, there's got to be some ground to where they got to fix it.
It has to change.
It's legal everywhere. The NBA, MLB, football, like, you got 3 of the biggest sports in our country it's legal in, but someone that,
when you can't bring it across state lines.
Yeah.
It's really strange. You know, we're in this strange time where it's not stabilized like across the board. California market's kind of suffering.
Oh yeah.
And there's a mix of a lot of mediocre product on the market. Instagram is also at fault for that.
It definitely is. That's all I see all day long on there. It's just different. Oh, you got to have this one. Oh, you got to have this one. I'm like, dude, I don't even know what those are. Those probably they're probably fake. You know, it's an oversaturated market. When
the marketing has played such a huge role. And so people see it on Instagram like, I want that. And it looks the best. But that doesn't mean it's the best. It doesn't mean it has the best effect. It doesn't mean it has the best taste.
Yeah.
You know, and then they get hyped up on brands, you know, it's like cookies is everywhere. I mean, cookies is huge.
It's huge. Like everyone, especially being from the Bay Area, bro,
I knew cookies was huge when I saw a little 5-year-old kid walking around the mall with a cookies t-shirt. I'm like, that's when I knew cookies had really done it.
They made it. Yeah, for sure. They're big.
Their clothing is huge.
Yeah. And that rapper, Burner, I think it was like a big forerunner in rapping about the cookies game. And I think that helped a lot too.
Well, his brand revolved around, you know, the Burner as the cookies brand. He's synonymous with cookies. He was one of the original cookies. You know, he's the founder of cookies along with a handful of other guys. So Burner, I mean, he's the one who founded cookies with a bunch of guys from San Francisco. Yeah. We got Sherbinsky and we got Jigga and we've got Flux.
Oh no!
And I know these guys from back in the day. It's wild. Like these guys did it, and you know they built this brand around it, and it wasn't just a cannabis brand; it was a lifestyle brand. Yeah, right. And so
that's how you build the best brands, right?
Yeah, it's like when you don't pigeonhole yourself. We were kind of talking about it earlier about not pigeonholing yourself into one thing. It's like when you can really open up, and you have this platform now, and you also have the diversity with the consumer. It's not just you know, the bikers. It's not just the guys with the music. It's a little bit of everything.
Oh yeah.
You got the stunt bike guys that love it too. I'm sure they're like,
it was crazy because like another time, like I realized like it touched a whole bunch of people. It was like I was downtown by my house one day and this little kid like on a scooter was like, oh, are you the guy on the motorcycle? I was like, yeah. Like he's like, I love you. I was like, oh, it's really not just people that ride motorcycles that actually like this. It's like
everybody.
It's a lot of people. I get people from like Europe. I get people from like Russia. I get people all over the world reaching out to me like, oh my God, I love what you're doing. Keep it up. You know,
you need to go on a world tour.
I do.
Go on the Autobahn.
Yeah. Oh, tell me. Oh God, that would be such a great time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a sport bike for that though, so I can go even faster.
Totally. Well, we got to get you out there to Barcelona. Like I go to Barcelona once a year.
Oh, really?
We can get you some sponsors to bring you out to Europe.
That's I've been working on it. Trust me, I'm trying to get there because I got so many like. I hate to call them fans, but people that like me. When you coming out here, like, I want to get out there. That's
we need to get the cannabis guys to sponsor you to come out.
Yeah, that would be a fun time. That'd be a fun time for sure. That's on my bucket list.
Yeah, and Europe's amazing. You know, I think there's so many places in the world where you could do it successfully.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it's kind of like to me too. I want to challenge myself to ride, not crazy, but just how I ride somewhere else. Cause everybody swears they're like, you come here, you can't do it that. You come here, you can't do that.
You go to Thailand and get a rickshaw. I guarantee you can do that shit.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, come on, man. I don't know. Just, you gotta be one with the bike. I feel like I could do it anywhere. So kind of is what it is, but.
Well, and you're super passionate about it. I mean, that goes a long ways.
People are like, when you have a kid, you're not going to ride like that. You're going to sell your bike. I'm like, probably not. I don't know what I would do if I could not ride a motorcycle anymore. You know, it's just it's just something I have to do. I can't give it up. It just is what it is. I got to do it. So
yeah,
it's just it's like you said, like the burner thing. It's a lifestyle. I'm not out here doing this for Instagram. I'm not doing it for fame. I'm not doing it to please anybody. It's like, it's a lifestyle for me.
You eat, sleep, and breathe it.
This is what I've been doing my whole life, and I'm gonna keep doing it, whether they like it or not. So just is what it is. I remember when I first I double back on this, when I first blew up on Instagram, when I first got the 100,000, everybody I knew started noticing me. And a guy in my club, his wife was like, "What's this I hear you're like blown up on Instagram?" I was like, "Oh yeah, like check out," like I showed her the video. I was like, "Oh, check it out. This is why." She's like, she watched it and she's like, "Okay, what about it?" And I was like, "Well, the dancing part and the split and like the lane." She's all, "Yeah, I watch you do that every time we ride together. What's the big deal?" I was like,
"Yeah,
I don't know." It was just like, it's normal for me. So, you know, it's just, I don't know. It's crazy, but.
Yeah, it's wild. It's, you know, and it's wild what Instagram likes and doesn't like, because everybody's trying to do something, right?
They're trying to do something.
And so what works and what doesn't work. Yeah. You can't just do what everybody else is doing and expect to get different results.
Yeah, definitely. I got a million people trying to copy what I'm doing right now. And
I bet.
It's like, I think it's flattering. It's cool, but at the same time, I'm like, please don't
it's
kill
all good
yourself.
Till they hurt. Till they get hurt.
Yeah, please don't kill yourself. Like, that's not a good look. But
well, and people die lane splitting every year.
Every year. I've known, I know personally almost 21 people that went down on their bikes this year, and they don't ride anywhere like I do. They ride super, like follow all the laws, ride nice. And it's like, you go down and you're going to go down. It just is. It's just a matter of when, you know? So kind of just something you got to roll with.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to go down in life one way or another.
One way or the other, right? I'd rather be on my own terms. So, you know.
Die fighting.
Yeah, that's right.
Nice. So are you originally from the Bay Area?
I am. So I say I'm born and raised in Vallejo because technically I am, but I was born in Vallejo and I lived in El Sobrante for a couple years, and then I moved to Vallejo. And then, but my mom would never, I was not the best kid growing up, so my mom would never let me go to school in Vallejo. Yeah. So she made me go to school across the bridge at Carquinez and John Sweat by the C&H factory.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, right there.
I know all about John Sweat.
Oh, yeah. John, the Indians, baby. Well, I can't call them that anymore, I guess, but they changed their name, but the John Sweat Indians. But I went to school there, and then I ended up moving out to Oakley, closer to the water, because then I got into wakeboarding, and that kind of
nice. Yeah, I was into wakeboarding when I was a kid too.
Yeah, that kind of flipped my whole life around. You know what I mean? Because I was really into basketball and football and stuff.
And wakeboarding's changed so much since we were kids, right? Since I was a kid,
it's changed a lot.
The wakeboards have changed, turned into wake surfing now. People are huge into it. Yeah, that's legit.
It's nice to not get hurt doing that and then going to work on Monday, because I wakeboarded for the first time in 3 years this year. Yeah. And because my fiance, she's never seen me wakeboard before. And I was like, she's like, let me see.
You still killing it on the wakeboard?
I was killing it for a second, but I got real tired and then fell real hard. And I was like, oh, I can't walk anymore. So I was like,
yeah, especially if you're trying to launch off the wake.
Oh yeah. I got friends that like are still professional wakeboarders, and I see them pop up on like my Instagram feed, and they're like doing double flips.
It's so crazy.
Like 1080s and stuff. I'm like, God, I remember when you were like this big. Now you're just it's a whole different world now. It's like snowboarding. If you can't double flip, you're not gonna make it. You know?
But 10 years ago, it wasn't the same.
Oh no, 10 years ago, it was a whole different story. I know, because I had a wakeboard coach back in the day, and he was the pro at his time. And you go watch his videos then when he was like one of the best in the world to now, it's like, oh, this is just two different eras. You know what I mean?
It just keeps getting more competitive, and people keep getting better and better. But there's people that kind of set the bounds for that stuff. And so what you've done is it's gonna evolve into something else too.
I hope so. I really hope so. It seems to be going that way, but I like that I made my mark in my world, right? Like I like that I can honestly say that I did something that that I'm pleased with. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people get to say
original,
that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you made your mark. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, and not a lot of people can say that. Usually people just live their life and just try to make it, you know what I mean? Or even just struggle with life in general. And I feel like I've done something to where I could be like, you know what? Like when I'm 80, if I make it to 80, I could look back and be like, even if it does nothing for me, I'm like, I did something back then. Like when I could show my grandkid, check when I was younger, you know, but it's kind of.
Well, there is some peace and some happiness that goes along with finding what you were meant to do on this planet, in this existence. And, I think a lot of people are still lost, even older people. Like I feel blessed to know, I feel like I know my purpose in life, right? And I contributed to this much bigger thing we have, this existence. I contributed in a positive way.
Yeah.
You know, because I think a lot of people are like, they don't know why they're here, or they think I think we're all here for a reason.
Yeah.
We all are here to serve a purpose.
Definitely.
I don't know what that purpose is. You know, we talk about non-player characters.
Oh yeah, all the time.
You know, and there are a lot of non-player characters out there, but I believe we all have a purpose.
Yeah, me too. And that's kind of where I was at with the whole bike thing, man. I hope one day it works out to where I could just literally ride my bike every day for a living. That's my end goal right there.
Yeah.
If I can do that, and I really feel like my personal purpose is to put smiles on people's faces. And I think I'm doing a good job, but
yeah,
I love when people hit me up. I've had so many people hit me up and like, you know, like I really needed this today. Like I was having the worst day of my life, and just seeing you have a good time and smiling is making my day just better. And
happiness is contagious.
It is, you know.
Yeah, so is depression. You know, so like it can go either way. Yeah. So let's watch some of your videos. So these guys can see them.
Yeah, these. So I'm gonna show you. Where is it at? I got this. This is the video that made me go viral right here. Check this out. The crazy thing about this when I first started is people think that the cars are paid actors. I almost crashed in this video because if you watch the video, I do just the arm thing. I go left, right, do it. That's all I was ever gonna do.
Yeah.
And then I was riding so fast, I seen the lane, just the gap opened up. I was like, wow, check this shit out. And I just started going with the music, and I came right, and I had to hold it for so long because I was going so fast. I was about that far from clipping the back of that truck because it's just something I was doing, and people are just like, I can't believe it. And that was the one that it made it pop off. That one was fun.
It's so wild. So like, what's going on in your head? Like, you're not even thinking about
nothing.
You're just thinking about the music and the energy, and you can't really think in those.
Honestly,
moments.
man, I can't really tell you what I'm thinking about because like I'm really just.
It's almost meditation.
I'm
right?
just cruising, and I just put on the music, and it's literally like the only place in my life to where I can just. There's nothing here. Yeah. Just finally, I'm not thinking about work. I'm not thinking about any problem I have going on.
You're living in the moment.
Just living in the moment. It's just, if you can find that place, that's another thing that's hard for people to find, is just a space where you are just truly like happy. You know what I mean? And that's my happy place, man. I don't think about nothing. I'm just full throttle and let's go.
Full throttle.
Like that feeling of just getting put back every time you hit that gas is just, God, it's just my favorite.
So how fast have you gone on the streets?
How the fastest I've ever gone, 146, 147.
That's really fast on a bike.
It was really fast. That was on my old bike, but yeah, that was really fast. That bike was no joke. That bike was fast, but I got another one, and we're gonna see if we can make that one just as fast too.
Nice.
We'll see. It's slow right now, but it'll get there. It'll get there. But it's fun. I mean, what I cruise at and what I cruise at about 100. That's if my 100 is cruising for me. If I'm going anything below that, it just feels slow.
And if you have a good bike, it doesn't feel like you're going 100.
Nah, yeah, it really doesn't. People are like, I can't believe you ride that fast. I'm like, ride it. Like I tell people all the time, ride it, check it out. Once you ride it and you're doing 100, you'll feel like you're going like 65. It's like, you ever done 100 in like a big lifted truck? And you feel like you're flying. Then you go do 100 in like a Beamer, and you're like, oh, I'm doing 100. You know, it's kind of like
100 in the rain.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's like, it doesn't even feel bad. Like, in a Mercedes or a BMW.
You don't even know it.
But yeah, you have some sort of lifted truck and you're going 80 sometimes.
You feel like you're flying.
You drive a car from the 80s. Like I had a Subaru, and we got that over 100. And that thing, it just shakes.
Shaking
and
it's rattling. Like, it's just, you get a nice bike and you won't. That's why if you get a sport bike with a stabilizer on it, and that thing is smooth as butter, 200 miles an hour on those things, and it don't feel like it, you know?
Yeah, it's wild.
It's wild. Those things are fast. That's why I'm not allowed to have one, everybody tells me. So they're like, you definitely can't have one of those. You're going to kill yourself on that.
Seriously.
But so.
On a bike that's so fast. Yeah.
Those things, I know some people on those things that go I think it's too fast. And that's saying something if I think it's too fast. Yeah. But they're wild.
I got a friend who has a Ferrari, and he goes like 210.
Oh, easy. Oh, yeah. Those things.
And he films it with one hand.
Nah, that's wild.
That's wild. Yeah.
That's wild.
And you could hear him laughing a little bit in the background,
Having a great time.
Wild.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So What's your biggest video you've had? I think you're up over 20 million views on some of them.
My biggest video got deleted by Instagram because they delete my stuff all the time, but never notify me about it. And I don't know why. It happens all the time. Like, I don't know if it's because if they're having trouble with the song, like they're however they work it
sometimes
out
with the licensing.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, right? It might be
they might have to pay the artist per view,
yeah,
and then all of a sudden they're like
licensing
20 million, and we got to pay 50 cents or whatever it is.
Yeah, so it was a song by Jack Harlow. I can't remember the song, but it had, before it got deleted, it had 49 million views.
Crazy.
Which is a lot. Like that's pretty crazy. But I think the next highest I got, I think there's a lot in like I think the 30 millions. I think I got one that's 35 million, 20 millions. They got a bunch in there. It's just for a minute, like the views of that, they haven't slowed down. They just slowed down to where it's not all hitting at one time. Right. Because there was a point to where any video I posted, no matter what it was getting 2 million views within 2 days. It was just kind of like, I could promise you promotion. If you want a million views here, let me just post anything and it's hitting 1 million views, right? Because it tells you on Instagram like how many people you've reached in the last month. Right. It was consistently stuck at like 109 million.
That's
like
insane.
It's insane, right?
That is
like,
insane.
It's insane to me that I hit 109 million and I only got 1.7 million followers, right? But
yeah, when mine was at its peak, I was at 5 million.
Yeah, it's wild.
My Instagram, I was reaching 5 million a month, and I see some of these guys that have 10 or 15 or 20. I follow some jiu-jitsu guys that they have really big followings, and it's pretty wild. But 100 million in a month, that's so wild.
And it was like that consistently for like 5 months. Like it was like, it never went down. Like everything on my Instagram was broken. Like where it shows you where people like it, it was broken. It wouldn't work. Like when it shows like, what's it called? It's like, it's like professional request or something like that. Wouldn't even pop up with anything. Like my like when it showed, it's funny too because like my girlfriend started, or my fiance started to break too, because like her following, because people started following her too. She's on private though, so now it's like it's broken at like, I think it's at like 900. It's like just broken there, but I know it's way more than it's got. I bet she hit approve right now, she'd probably have like 30,000 followers easy, right? 100%. But it's wild. It was a culture shock for me because like I don't really. Before that, I never really used social media. Like I had one to have one. Everybody's got one, right? I had Facebook, had that. Yeah. And then I owe it all to my boy, man. He told me to start recording it and I did it and I hated it. And then it worked out. So I kept doing it. Right. You know what I mean? It was just, it didn't really cost me anything to do it, right? I do it on my way home from work every day. That's why it's like, why does the background look the same? It's got to be staged. I'm like, they're like, where are you going? I'm like, home. Like every day I'm going home. Like
green screen.
Yeah, green screen. You know what I mean? I'm like, somebody was like, there was a comment the other day. I was like, I can't believe he's using a green screen. And somebody was like, I know that freeway. If anybody's going to use a green screen, it definitely wouldn't be that place.
That's for sure.
Yeah, the 680, definitely not.
Well, yeah. And then I think a lot of people probably think you speed it up, but then it's like, how do your lips sync up with the music? Yeah, like, it's not possible.
Even my own friends are like, that's got to be sped up. I'm like, what do you mean it's got to be sped up?
It feels like it when you're watching it.
Well, you got to have, it must be the wide angle then. I'm like, oh, okay, come ride with me. Even a buddy from work, he's like, all right, cool. After work one day we rode, I swear he almost died trying to keep up with me. He's like, okay, it's not fake. I'm sorry, I take it back. Yeah. Like it's funny to me that when you see people on Instagram that are not a part of this lifestyle, they think it's wild. It's got to be fake. Nobody would ever do that. But then when I talk to people like from the motorcycle world, they're like, oh yeah, I used to do that all the time. Or I do that all the time now. And you go out and ride with them, they're crazier than I am. You know what I mean? They just don't record it. I'm the only dummy that started recording it. Yep. So totally. It's a culture shock for me. Definitely.
Well, you give people, they have enough information to know enough about it to be dangerous, but not to really know about it. And so they want to assume that they're an expert on it. And so many people are now, they're internet experts.
Oh God, internet experts is the worst. Let me tell you, like they're always like, that's so illegal. You can't do that. And then I send them a screenshot of the California state law that says that the cars have to get out of my way, basically. Cause it's like, we're like, I think it's either us in one other state or it's just us. We're the only one you can lane split in. So it's like,
do you know why lane splitting is legal?
No.
Well, I mean, I don't even really know. There's a reason.
I had no idea.
And so the reason is because the bikes back in the day would overheat. And so if you had to sit in traffic, your bike would overheat.
No, really?
And so that's why lane splitting is legal.
No, well, mine
at least my father told me that when I was a kid.
I can see it because I have an 03 now, and that thing likes to try to overheat all the time because it's like if you sit at a light, those things get so hot, it's ridiculous.
So. Someone in the chat's going to jump in and explain it perfectly, why the engines overheat. But back in the 50s and 60s, I'm sure
I could see that for sure. Yeah.
So
it's great though. It's a great law, and I like it. So because it's like everybody's like, oh, someone needs to open their door on you, and I'm like, and they'll go to jail for manslaughter. So it's fine. I'm not tripping.
So let's talk about protocols when you're a driver in a car and there's a motorcycle coming in. Usually, you guys go to the one over from the fast lane.
Yes.
Right. Typically.
I would say typically that's where you should ride, right? I see a lot of people splitting lanes, like in the middle lane.
Stuff,
it's just people, I think in California, they're trained, right? Yep. So in California, if you're splitting in the fast lane, there'll be times when that right car will get over for you. Even if they don't see you, they'll hear you.
Yeah.
So if they hear you and they get over, it's happened to me while I was trying to get to an exit. They heard me, but they didn't see me.
Yeah.
So they started getting over, but I was on their right side, and I was like, whoa. And they were like, oh, I'm sorry. But kind of like you got to try to stay in that far left lane. And
and I mean, good etiquette. And if you like bikers, good etiquette is if you're in the fast lane to like give them a little bit of room.
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean? The worst is though, like for me, I don't really care if you get over or not. I'm still gonna, because my bike's small, right?
I'm still going
past you regardless, right? But what bothers me is the people that have their tow mirrors out that aren't towing anything.
Right.
They are like.
Well, but those are the people that don't even know their tow mirrors, right? So that's the other thing is you got guys that have no idea that those mirrors actually can go in,
They're the worst too, because like when you're splitting a lane, they're like right here. I got to duck under them every time. If they don't get over, I got to go.
Clothesline by a mirror, that would be the worst.
That'd be the worst. I'd be right off that bike. But other than that, everybody, if you, like when I'm driving, if I see a bike, I try to get all the way over. Some people that ride will tell you don't do that because if the car gets all the way over, like into the basically where you'd pull out, it shoots up a lot of like
sand and dirt
and just whatever's over there.
Yeah.
And it'll start hitting you all in the face and stuff. So let somebody else tell you, but a lot of motorcycles don't like it. I like it. If you get over, cool, great. If you don't, it is what it is. But me personally driving, I try to get all the way over.
Yeah.
But some people hate it though. I hear it all the time. Just get over a little bit. I'm like, come on, man. They're doing you a favor. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You know what I mean? They already don't want to get over. They get all the way over and then you're mad about it. So it's kind of that motorcycle where you think
share the road. At the end of the day, if you're a car, share the road and be aware. Awareness is just such a huge thing. Not even just driving, but in life. Just be aware.
Everybody's just so on splitting lanes. I watch, right? And you just see, especially in traffic, right? After work, it's bumper to bumper. It's just scrolling. Nobody's paying attention.
So many people just on their phones
all the time, which I'm guilty too. So I can't hate too much. But
I try not to. I don't go on social media when I'm driving.
Yeah, definitely, especially not on the freeway. You know what I mean?
Well, no, most cars now, if you have a modern car, you get the messages on your screen.
Yeah.
You can answer the phone from the screen.
Yeah.
They make it
these
convenient.
cars can drive themselves anyway. So but.
It's the future.
It's the future. That's where they're all coming to. Pretty soon they're gonna make motorcycles that drive themselves. So
seriously, how shitty would that be?
Need me no more.
That's the worst.
It's the worst.
Like I got the motorcycle that's self-driving, the Tesla motorcycle that's self-driving.
Oh yeah, I heard that in a couple years. I don't know when, but they're apparently supposed to be putting like limiters on motorcycles.
Yeah,
like the new ones to where they're set to like speed limits as they change, so you can't go over them.
That's silly.
I was like, I get it. We ride too fast. I'm personally ride way too fast, but it's like you need that. Sometimes you need that extra little to get out of there.
But there's consequences, right? So there are consequences for speeding. You go over the speed limit. It used to be 65. Now technically it's 70.
Yeah.
I think there's a 5 mile.
It's like it gives you like a 5 to 10 mile grace period type thing on there. Yeah.
I mean, I think they will ticket you they can ticket you anything above 70, right?
Oh, anything, yeah.
And so, and there's consequences. You do it, you get a ticket, you pay your ticket. Just like you get in a car accident, your insurance goes up.
Yep. It's just kind of
all that stuff, your insurance goes up. So there's consequences for it. So it's on you. I mean, reckless driving is another thing, but that's all subjective to the individual. What's really reckless?
Exactly.
Can you drive 85 and not be reckless?
Exactly.
I think so.
Exactly.
You know, but I also think you can drive reckless at 70 miles an hour.
Well, true. And it's crazy because people always tell me I'm reckless driving because I don't have my hands on the wheel and I'm taking them off and doing all this stuff. There's no law that says you are required to have your hands
I think reckless
on the bars for the
control,
motorcycle.
Right?
Yeah,
it should be controlled. Do you have control?
As long as you have control,
are you aware?
Yeah, exactly. There's no.
Are you putting people in danger? Right?
Exactly. There's nothing that says that I can't ride with one hand. There's nothing that says you have to have both on there. For the car, I don't know if that's a law or not, but I know you take your test. You're supposed to be 10 and 2,
right.
but there's nothing that says that for a motorcycle. So it's like.
Totally.
Everybody thinks they know. So I just kind of roll with it these days.
So we're going to look at some weed and you're going to tell me about it.
I'm going to try. I'm going to
try
to tell you about it.
Well, I just want your honest opinion.
Yeah,
we're going to
definitely.
go through some stuff, some rec flower, and you're going to give me your opinion. And you're going to, I know what's good and what's bad. And I've tried all this stuff. So
perfect.
We're going to get your opinion on what is what.
Sounds good to me.
I'm super excited about this, actually.
Sounds good to me.
So the first sample we're looking at.
Perfect.
Is something I got at Emerald Cup.
And what is Emerald Cup? I've been hearing that word a lot today.
Yeah, so Emerald Cup is an event that started up in the Emerald Triangle.
Okay.
And it was like the fall festival where we shared our harvests. All the growers would bring their fresh flower and there's a competition.
Okay.
The best of. And you would, for the last 20 years, this was the 20-year anniversary, they would have this contest and it was the best of the best. It was the best of the Emerald Triangle.
Oh, really?
And it's changed. So the last one was in Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, it was in Santa Rosa. And it's an amazing event, especially if you're a cannabis guy and you want to see good outdoor flower. It's like, it always is proof the good outdoor exists.
So is it all amazing. Outdoor? Or
it's supposed to be, but there's other categories, and now there's home growers and there's commercial growers and there's all these different things, and there's different categories. We didn't have rosin back in the day. We have rosin now.
Yeah, that's a thing that I've just started hearing about because I'm like super out of the game. You know what I mean? Somebody told me, I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
Right. So we're gonna look at this sample.
Perfect. God, that smells good. Oh, it's very, very purple and white. I tell you that.
Yeah.
So to me, when I used to smoke weed, this would be considered gas where I'm from. Like this looks like some grade A weed right here.
Some purple candy gas.
Purple candy gas.
So that's some lemon cherry gelato.
Lemon cherry gelato.
Yeah. Very popular right now. That's one of the most popular genetics on the market.
Oh, really?
That is.
Oh, that smells amazing.
Yeah.
God, that's super good. Yeah. So to me, that looks like definitely some top tier right there.
Maj Reefer. And next.
You know what I think is crazy these days? The packagings, man. Everybody's packaging game is off the charts now.
It's such about marketing, right?
It is, right? It's like the vape things are like just a regular, like the nicotine vapes. It's like just like everybody's got to get the new thing, right? You get that new package out there and everybody's like, oh man, that new, I see them all the time now. I'm like, man, these things are wild.
So this is some Kush face.
Well, that's got a way different smell to that.
Now, when I think of gas,
this right here,
that's what I think.
Yeah,
OG, like that real fucking pungent gas.
So when I used to smoke weed, I'm a big sour diesel fan. Like I know it's hella old school, but
I'm all about sour diesel. That's my jam. Literally,
that was my favorite strand ever. It gave me the perfect high. I could get everything done in the world afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was the perfect strand. Oh, this is dense too. Yeah. That's super frosty right there. This smells super good. Is that like a sour smell to that?
It does have that gas.
Yeah.
It's from that Kush.
Yeah.
Got that Kush in it for sure.
Definitely got a cushy smell. I was big on the OG Kush back in the day too. I feel like I sound so old when I say stuff like that because remember there's these kids that I know that smoke weed and they kind of always trying to tell me the new thing. Like, what you know about this? I'm like, man, I used to smoke sour diesel back in there. They're like, oh, what is that? I'm like,
so I want you to take and squeeze those nugs and really get in there. Like it's one thing smelling the jar, but squeeze that nug.
Oh my God, these things are sticky. You be wiping your fingers off for days after
Now
rolling up with this.
Smell those fingers. Smell that bud. Let me know what you think of that.
Ooh.
Does that remind you of anything from your past?
Oh, yes, it does. That smells like some old school sour something.
It is. It's sour.
Is it? God.
Good job. So you're a real smoker. You identify sour.
I used to be, man. Yeah. I used to be.
I mean, you get a lot of credit for that one.
Oh, man,
this is some real sour diesel.
When I used to smoke tough, I used to smoke like almost a zip about a day and a half, pretty much. Like I used to, telling you, man, I don't like to drink alcohol. Like I get really hungover, and I personally believe alcohol will kill you 100%. I think weed will do nothing but help you. And it's just, it's crazy.
So the next one is some 4Zs from Lempire Farms.
Lempire Farms, huh? What's it called? 4Zs?
4Zs.
Does it put you to sleep or what?
Nah, Skittles. It's a Skittles cross.
Huh? Is that related to the Sunday drivers and stuff like that?
No, but Sunday drivers is cool. But yeah, this one's just all candy.
Just all candy.
This is all candy.
Okay,
this is when people say candy. This is what
this is what they're talking about.
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
Okay.
What do you think of that?
Smells really good. I have to say, if I was smoking, I'm more of a fan of like the more of the Kush one. But this smells really good though. It's really dense too. Not as sticky as that other stuff though. I'm more like I used to like really, really sticky weed, or I liked a really, really, really dark purple weed. That was kind of
So the next one I got for you
smells good.
Is some dark purple.
Oh my goodness.
What do you think of that purple?
I think it makes me want to quit my job. That's what I think. This is the darkest purple I think I've ever seen. It's basically black.
That is from Rob at Native Selections.
Mm-hmm.
And that is called Purple Sand.
Purple Sand?
That's some special.
Yeah. Some grade A right
some
here.
Grade A. Well, and you know what? It's special because of the color.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I've seen frostier bud. I've seen louder bud, but that is purple.
Yeah.
That's as purple as it gets. It's beautiful. And then there's some nugs of OG Kush over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that brings back memories right there. OG Kush.
Some classic OG.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. God, this is some of the most purple weed I've ever seen in my life. It's crazy, the strands they got these days. It's like a whole nother world to me.
Yeah.
Because I'm not.
So this right here is some Moonbow IX.
Oh my goodness.
From Archive Genetics, grown by Flora and Flame.
Oh my God, that smells good. Oh yeah, that one's frosty too. God, that smells amazing. This candy too, huh?
That's candy.
God.
That's related to this. That's it's got that.
It smells a little similar, it's just stronger.
And that one right there is some strawberry cough.
Strawberry cough, huh?
You get the berries on that nose?
Yeah, big time. Big time. Wow.
And that is from Kyle Cushman. It is some veganic.
Veganic, what's that mean?
It means so veganic means that it doesn't have animal inputs.
Oh,
right?
really?
And so it's a company called Organics Alive that he gets his nutrients
like vegan
from.
and organic kind of in a way. Okay,
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense with the name. God, that's straight like berry. That smells amazing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that definitely is a good one. God, I gotta be like your lamest guest because I can't even smoke weed on here with you.
You're the first. No, you're not the first that doesn't smoke weed, but you're outside the circle of, this isn't really your thing, but weed, sour diesel. You get a lot of props because I would say a lot of my guests, I show them that sour and they'd be like, eh.
Oh no, that's the best one in the book right there for me. It's like a cherry kind of.
That is some haze. That is super silver haze from Flora and Flame, bred by Greenhouse Seed Company.
Oh my goodness.
So that's the haze. It's got that lime and that loud nose.
It smells like more of a
nose.
lime. Yeah. Now that you say that, does it taste like lime too?
Oh yeah, it's loud.
Yeah,
that's loud. That's some of my favorite.
Yeah, that smells amazing. That'd probably be some of my favorite too. It's just so. Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Are you picking your favorites off the taste, the feeling, or like what are you going off of? Because mine used to be, it was more of the feeling than the taste. Because me personally, there's only been about maybe 3 different strands I could actually like taste the flavor. Like Blue Dream was one, Sour Diesel was one, and then it was like that
You smell Granddaddy Purple?
it was not cherry pie. It was like a cherry gelato or something like that. It was like a cherrier flavor, kind of like that. And then I had one that tastes like lemonade, but I don't remember what it was. And that was like one time. But what are you basing that off of?
We're breeding and selecting for flavor, but also effect. I talk about on my show a lot, like going back to like, how does it make you feel? I think that's important.
Okay.
So when we're popping a bunch of plants and we're looking for that next winner, right? I give people joints. I smoke joints, and it's like, I know what the weed looks like, but I want to know from you, how does it make you feel?
Yeah.
And how does it taste?
Yeah.
Those are the two. And how does it burn? Is it burning even?
Yeah.
Did we cure it correctly? All that stuff. But those are things that can be adjusted a little bit, whereas like
that nice ash on there and stuff. Yeah.
But then the effect can come down to what day it was harvested on. Some stuff we might grow at one time and we're like, oh, we need to harvest it on day 56 and not on day 63.
Oh, so that stuff makes like a big difference.
A huge difference.
Oh, really? See, I don't know too much about growing it, but I know from people I know, but I've learned some things.
We got some mutual friends that grow weed.
I know how, but I didn't know like, it's such a science to me. Like when I hear people who like really, really, really know what they're talking about, I'm like, bro, you sound like you work at the Berkeley lab right now. Like, I'm like, you are like one of the smartest whatever that I've ever met. When they talk about that stuff, I'm like, it's literally a science. Like you guys got it down.
Well, day 53, if you want it more candy for like Skittles, you harvest day 52 to day 54. You want something that's more gassy and stronger, like stronger effect wise, you can go to day 60, 63. It might yield a little bit more, but then you lose the candy. And so there's all kinds of little things. You learn how to grow that one specific plant.
Gotcha.
Right? And sometimes you learn right away, and other times there's a learning curve. Some stuff like Blue Dream is the easiest thing in the world to grow.
Oh, yeah. That stuff was everywhere for a long time.
It's easy to grow, but also you can get better, and better by improving.
Really?
Like I think making small adjustments over time, if you grow it over and over, you can grow it better than you did the previous run. And most stuff is like that. I think like lane splitting in the beginning, like the first time you do it compared to as you learn how to do it.
It was crazy about the which is right, because when I first got my motorcycle, I wouldn't say I was scared to go on the freeway, because I've had motorcycles and been on the freeway a lot. Yeah. It was brand new and I was kind of just so nervous. And then kind of just over time, you learn, like, say with the one strand, right? You kind of just perfect that one thing. Once I rode this bike every day, so I kind of just became one with it. I just figured it out, kind of just, and now that's why it's so good, I guess, you figure it out. So I guess it's the same thing, because I didn't know there was so much into it like that though. Just from day to day, it can change.
Oh yeah, like you have too much humidity for part of your cycle, or like a small part of it, or too much heat from the summer. Your water temps get too hot or too cold.
Really? Like I heard that earlier today. Something about the higher water temps. I definitely had no idea about that.
We have a mutual friend that's been having problems for years.
Yeah,
and it's because his water temps are too warm, and that can cause problems.
See, and it's just I guess it's the little things, right? Trial and error.
Well, and it's understanding and awareness, right, of what's going on. Because there's all these little details, and the better you understand them, the better results you can get.
Yeah. Which is crazy. I just learned not too long ago, because like cloning's a thing now. Yeah. That was not a thing when I was growing up. Like that's a thing. I'm so dumb. I didn't know you could do that with all plants. Like you could do
not all plants, but most.
You could do like an orange tree and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
or like a lime tree clone. I didn't know it's like the same process basically.
Mikey likes to clone. All kinds of stuff.
That's who I learned most of my knowledge from. Shout out Mikey, because he teaches me a lot. But
yeah. So if we were to put all these things in order from the ones that you just smelled, you didn't get to taste them, unfortunately.
I know, unfortunately.
But you did get to look at them and smell them. What would be your top 3?
So my favorite would be that sour you showed me down there. Yeah. But I would say the one in the tin can, that thing smelled amazing.
Super silver.
That is something I'd want to try. The Kush Face is one I'd want to try. That one's cool. I don't know if that one would be my favorite, but the one in the first one in the purple bag, that one would be. I would put the probably if I had to. I would put the one that was dark purple up there, just because I'd want to try it. Just because purple's some of my favorite, right? But I don't really know if personally it would be like
right.
in my top 3, right? But it would be something I'd definitely like put up there because I feel like I'd want it. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
definitely, I think the one in the tin would have probably been my favorite if I got to try it. Then
nice.
it's
good stuff. And
that hits you right in the nose, man.
It does, and it hits you right in the nose, kind of like it hits you in the head. It's so there's like some that are narcotic and tight behind the eyes and make you hungry, and then there's stuff like that where it's that stuff is a stimulant. And so I got another one to show you.
Yeah, see, I was a big like head high person too. Like the ones that give you like the body type highs, like I was not. That would just make me so lazy and tired and stuff like that. And
so this kind of has that same lime to it. It's a haze. It has that terpenoline nose. It smells like turpentine a little bit.
Yeah. It smells
right. And
good.
so it's hazy. It doesn't look the most beautiful, but that is some organic. It's grown in Mendocino.
Oh, really?
Yep.
It feels way more kind of like organic.
Badalero, Dave from Badalero. And,
it's definitely like more fluffy, like not as dense, definitely a little bit
it's
more
not
fluffy,
as beautiful,
but it's kind of like
the effect.
Yeah, and see, like it's weird to me because like everybody kind of like that I know personally now that smoke, it's like they want like super dense weed, super like, so it's got to be like frosted over and stuff like that. And then I see stuff like this, I'm like, man, that's probably fire. Like you guys are sleeping on it. Like you don't.
When it smells like that, you know what I mean? If it smells like gelato and it looks like that, we got a problem, right?
Yeah. See, when it's like, that would be up in probably my top 3 right there. See, that's the type of stuff I used to like, right? And I don't know, like the whole weed game to me is like it's changed drastically from when I stopped smoking, right? It's like, it seemed like it was overnight. It's like, everybody's got a new thing that's kind of came out, but to me, it kind of seems like the same thing as the last thing. It's just kind of got a little bit different twist on it. It's kind of like, you know, then when I see stuff like that, I'm like, see, that's what I'm talking. That's what I need. That's what I'm talking about.
Sometimes people don't even know what they want till you show it to them.
Yeah,
they think they know what they want in their head, and then they get to experience it, and they're like, "Oh, this is cool."
Yeah,
or "Oh, I don't like that."
Exactly.
Sometimes it can go either way. It's so subjective to the individual.
Yeah.
Some people like stimulants, and some people like some people like alcohol, and some people like cocaine.
Yeah, straight up.
We can be all over that. You can have the narcotic alcohol effect where like makes you tired, or you can have the uplifting one where you're like, I'm ready to rock. I'm ready to go party.
Yeah, straight up.
That's the beauty of cannabis,
it kind of just feels like that's what I learned too, is like you got to find what works for you. Definitely. You got to do a lot of trying to figure out. You can't just, and that's what I don't get with some people, just, I would say here, but probably all over, is like they think it's so bad because they've tried it one time and it made them all paranoid and they started freaking out or something. It's like, maybe you just need to try a different strain, or
you didn't smoke with James.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on now.
If you would have smoked with James, you'd
have been just fine.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of truth to that somebody eats a bunch of edibles and so they're like, oh, weed is bad. Yeah. They had a really bad trip, right?
Well, yeah, you ate 5 edibles and they all hit you at one time, 4 hours later.
Or they one edible that was equivalent to 10.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
On and acting.
You get paranoid.
So when you eat the 2 and wait like 45 minutes, it doesn't hit you, so you eat 2 more, and then all of a sudden you can't get off the couch.
Yeah.
Been there lots of times.
And then you're done for like 8 hours, 10 hours.
And you're like, I need to go get in the shower, try to sober up.
Oh, drink milk. It's like there's a certain point where there's not much you can do. Just
you just got to ride it out. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, and not call the cops.
Yeah.
And not call the cops on yourself.
Oh, I'm going to die. You're not going to die. You're going to be fine. I promise.
I think I'm dying. I think I'm dying. Yeah. I mean, there's people that do that.
They do.
There was a cop in Vallejo, speaking of which, that stole evidence from the evidence locker. And him and his wife ended up eating the edibles, and they called the cops on themselves. They called 911 on themselves. We'll have to post the news article up from years ago. So shitty. But cannabis it's a powerful drug.
It is.
It can be mild, but it can also be extremely powerful in large quantities.
Definitely. I personally think it can cure cancer because I've seen people with cancer and they'll start like never smoked cannabis day in their life. They used to hate it. And then they started doing it, and I swear, like, they started eating again, and they just seemed like a whole nother person. And like the person I know ended up beating cancer. And I was like,
small miracles, man.
I was like, see, man, you just need to, and not even that it cures it, but it just makes you to relax. So you don't have that stress.
There's some proof. We have
stuff,
studies that's shown that cannabis can cure cancer.
Yeah.
It's not the end all be all solution.
Yeah.
But it can, I mean, certain types of cancer, skin cancer,
definitely.
Rick Simpson oil. I mean, there's all kinds of things that they've shown that it's worked for, certain instances.
Like, I just don't think it's gonna make it any worse. Like, I just don't,
it makes the world a better place.
You know what I
mean?
Like, come on, man. Snoop Dogg's been smoking for how long now, and he's perfectly fine. Like, it's like he's one of the most. He was at the Olympics. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of the most successful people in this world. It's like it obviously can't be that bad, and that's why I'm like, these laws got to change. They have to. It's
we need to stop putting people in prison.
Yeah, it's just come on. There's so many more people out there doing way worse things. Yeah, that this is probably not the thing you should be worried about, right? It's just, I don't know.
Well, let's watch another video.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's watch the biggest video.
I'm going to show you the video I just posted a couple days ago that hit 10 million views as of like right now in 2 days, basically. This one it's a new song that came out. I don't know. Please don't get mad at me in these comments because I don't know where he's from and I don't know his name, but I'm pretty sure he's like from India. He's like an Indian rapper or whatever, and he's going crazy right now. I'm sure you've heard the song. Like, once you hear it, you'll be like, I've heard the song, but this is the video I watched back and I was like, this is wild, right? Like, here, check this out.
That's wild.
It's wild, right? I never thought it would be that wild. Like, but I was watching it back and I'm like, I really did just turn almost completely sideways with one hand, just kind of not caring in the world, like smashing. I was going like 95 in that video, like, and it's just like I don't realize it. Like I watched them all. Like I just don't really. I guess I never like realized it until today or yesterday or whatever. But I was just like, it is wild. It is wild.
So I got a few years on you, and I've been thinking about this question a lot, and it's one thing I ask all my guests. But if you were able to meet your younger self and give them one piece of advice, what would that piece of advice be?
Stay in school. Seriously. Not stay in school like I graduated high school, but go to college, definitely. Like, I know I have a really good job now, but I love my job. Don't get me wrong, but like I work construction, I work manual labor, right? So like it's rough on my body and like I really like it, but I know when I'm like 65, 70, it's going to be rough for me, right? So it's like, I wish I could tell myself to just still have fun. Don't do as many dumb things as I did, but definitely like go to college, try to get a degree and try to do something where you're not killing yourself every day, really. Yeah. You know what I mean? But don't get me wrong. I love my job, right? It's a great place to work. It's a great job. But I think like, especially now, like seeing like everybody wants to be like an influencer. Nobody wants to
do construction.
Nobody wants to do construction. Nobody wants to go to college. They either want to go to college, play in the NFL, like play a sport in college, or like go be a doctor or something. That's like, I wish I would have went to school and actually did something like, not like to say that matters, but like that matters. You know what I mean? Like what I do matters, right? Because people wouldn't. Like I work in water, right? So people wouldn't be able to drink without me fixing their water, right? Totally. It's a big thing. Like if everything hits the fan, like it's a necessity at the end of the day. You have to have
Imagine
it, right?
if you didn't have water.
Yeah, you have to have it, right? So it's like you need me. But at the same time, like there's a lot of cool people that do a lot of cool stuff out there. Like even if you go to college, like for film, you know what I mean? Like even like setting up this whole podcast type thing, you know what I mean? To be the guy behind the screens, like shout out the people behind the screens running the whole.
Our producer went to college.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like shout out those people that can go and you know the people like you'd get to meet, like even if you like say just for producing, right? Or just for editing, the people's stuff you get to work on, the people you get to meet, even if it was music, like the songs you get to be a part of. It's like to do stuff like that would have been cool. That's what I would have told myself is go to school and figure it out. Because when I was young, man, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was partying all the time and just having fun living life. Kind of nothing's changed, as you can tell. I'm still just full throttle all the time. So, but that'd probably be a thing for me. I know it sounds super cliche because it's, but it is something like me personally, I still might go back to college and
you're young. You can still go back to college.
You know what I mean? Like I still want to go back to college and get a degree and stuff. You never know. Maybe a career change.
I've changed careers a bunch. And I think it's never too late to start over. Mm-hmm. It's never late to show up on time.
Yeah, that's words to live by right there. Yeah, you ain't lying. But yeah, that'd be it for me, definitely.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people are looking to find out about you, you have a bunch of channels. You got Instagram, which is
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. It's all Vandezey21. There's been a lot of fake accounts out there, so you got to be careful.
Totally.
I got like Spotify playlists and Apple playlists, and you can check all those out in my bio. But a lot of people make fake one of those too. So, but yeah, I'm all over every social media platform you got. I'm on there, even Facebook, because it's linked to my Instagram. So
if someone wants to sponsor you,
yeah, they could reach out to me, DM me on Instagram, or that's usually what I check the most is my Instagram. Like TikTok, I feel super old saying this. I don't really know how to check the messages on there, so I don't really know how to work it too well. I try my best, but if you reach out to me on Instagram, I try to check those daily. So that's
nice.
if you're trying to get in touch, I'm here. So
fantastic.
Definitely.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show today. This was a blast.
Yeah, I had fun. Sorry, guys, I can't smoke with him today. I really wish I could. Trust me.
Next time.
Next time, definitely. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
I should have brought some mushrooms.
Oh, God, we would have been on cloud 9. I probably would have been sleeping here, though. So.
Yeah, we got drivers. Right on. Well, yeah, we'll have to do this again soon when you can smoke, when they change the laws, or when you're done with your job.
Definitely. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.